remember that we're living in a society which is grotesquely ignorant of the Quran and ignorant of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And our job as believers, as followers of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, is to clarify their aqidah. Because all of the anbiyat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came to purify the conceptualization that people have about Allah. And to speak about a day in which mankind will stand before the Lord and be held accountable for their deeds and for their actions. Yawm al-Qiyamah will be a day in which you will see with your eyes. The constant hustle and bustle, the constant attacks and repairs of the dunya and everything within the dunya, making a living, trying to carve out your way of existence, trying to earn wealth, trying to do this, all of these things divert you from the most meaningful thing until what? Until you work it. Then you shall see the church. Then again you will see, had you not understood it within your mind, had you not understood it in your mind, you would have been aware. Because you will see Jahim, you will see the hellfire. Then you will know certainty without a doubt. Because then you will be questioning about all of the pleasures and all of the things that you endured within the dunya. You will be questioned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about all of these things. This week has been a very difficult week for me. Because most of my asab, my companions, at the time that I became a Muslim, everybody is sick. One brother is in the hospital right now, and his wife said that, they say literally he is brain dead. That is no reason to keep him on the machine, that they should just pull the plug. But she said, no, let the qadr Allah. Let whatever Allah decrees happen, it happens. Give it some days and she will make a decision. Then I talked to another brother, and he's laying at home, and I said, Aki, why don't you come to the masjid? I said, let's go make Salah. Akimu Salah. Whoever establishes the prayer establishes Islam. I said, Salah mitluhu jannati shahadatu wa la ilaha illallah. The key to the Jannah is la ilaha illallah. As-salah. إن الصلاة تنهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر ولذكر الله أكبر. Now your prayer preserves and protects you from lewdness and wicked things. And the greatest object of life is the constant remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet said, let your tongue become moist with the remembrance of Allah. So important that at the time of the Prophet's death, he's looking upon the Jummah, and he mentions Salah before he dies. To show you that Salah itself is an institution. It's a form of deliverance and protection. Do not negate your obligation. Do not despair of the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do not become so complacent and despairing that you begin to stay home and you do not go to the masjid. Prophet told one companion, if you have to crawl, you hit the adhan, if you have to crawl to make the salah. The man, he was blind, and he said, can you hear the adhan? Yes, I can hear the adhan. And he said, hasten to the remembrance of Allah. Salah is very important, my dear brother. And when you become old, and when you become sick, and when you become infirm, it is more imperative that you make salah. Because we don't know when, we don't know where, we don't know how. But kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut. Every soul shall have a taste of death. That little young man who was kidnapped to make a Muslim sin to grab someone, to make him healthy and to bless his health and his soul. But that could have been next time. Because no one knows. Some people think that, when I become old, I don't go make Hajj. And I'm going to fulfill my Hajj and I'm going to clean my slate up and I'm going to be a good Muslim. But there's no guarantee that you're going to make Hajj. There's no guarantee that you will see tomorrow. There's no guarantee that you will see Ramadan. Because it says in one hadith that during the month of Ramadan that a breeze blows through the garden and began to ruffle the leaves. And that the place of the person is refurbished and rejuvenated. And that before you die you will see, had you been a good Muslim, this would have been your place. But some of us will be in the fire and not, may Allah protect our. But even the bad Muslims would have seen this is where you could have been. But the good Muslim, according to Ibn Qayyim and his book entitled Jewel in the Soul, he says that a good Muslim, that when the malaikas come to him, they extract his soul and it comes out like a drop of water. And it's wrapped in a nice cotton-like material with the fragrance of musk. And it's carried up through the heavens, and it is mentioned by its most beautiful name. He's Abu Qasim, he's this brother, the son of so-and-so, the son of so forth. All your good names that you have been known in the dunya, they will mention your name, and they will take you to the lowest heaven, and it will be granted entry into the Jannah. And that soul will be able to see its place in Jannah. But that don't mean that you're going to negate Yom Kiyama. No, that means that it will deceive in order to give it a sense of security and comfort. See its place in Jannah. Jannatu haqqan wa naru haqqan. The Jannah is real and the hellfire is real. Yet it is said that soul is carried down and is placed comfortably within its grave and is questioned by Munkar and Nakir. Who is your Lord? What messenger came unto you? What is your religion? And in another hadith it says, what do you say about this man Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? And hopefully we'll say that he is the noble messenger of Allah. That he is the seal of all the Anbiyat of Allah. He is my prophet, and I follow him. And whenever I hear his name, I say, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, upon this noble messenger, this noble servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And after the question, and the person says, Azaytu billahi rabbin wa bil islam deen wa bi Muhammadin Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allah is my Lord. Islam is my methodology, my way of life, and Muhammad sallallahu is my messenger, which has come to me. It is said that his grave will be expanded and a gate from Jannah is opened up to him so that he smells the beautiful fragrance of Jannah until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decrees that it comes out on the day of Qiyamah. But for the disobedient soul, when the soul that is negated, has negated its obligation, as Mu'adh said that the rights that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have over the servant, that they should worship him and not associate any partners with him. And if they do that, then they have nothing to expect from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgiveness and Jannah. But these people, they have committed makhshar. They have done evil. They have committed sin. They have violated the shariah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Or they fluctuated between Nifaq and Iman, faith and hypocrisy. And so when the angels come to them, according to Ibn, it is said that they're reluctant. The soul is reluctant to come out. It's uncomfortable because it knows this is the reckoning. This is the reckoning. This is the reality. What Muhammad said was true. So the soul tried to rescind and hide in the body. And it is said they reach in and they rip it out. Imagine a piece of paper stuck to this wall and you just ripping it out. Ripping it off the wall. And they rip it out and they put it in coarse material with a really repugnant smell. And it is carried up to the heavens and is questioned, as all of us will be questioned, but it cannot answer all of the questions, nor will it be able to enter into the Jannah. It will just give a vision of this what it could happen. But it is said about this soul that it is not carried back down, it is flung down. Imagine going up to the sky at the highest point, in the highest building in America, and you're jumping off, and you're going down and down and down until the total impact. But imagine in your mind, you're coming from the lower heaven, and you're coming down and down and down and down and down and down, and boom! You hit your spot in your grave. And then you'll question. And it has no ability to answer the question, who is your God? You doubted Allah. You lied upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You negated Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's commandments. You negated the shadow of Allah. You negated all the things that we were meant to do. What do you say about this man Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? You cannot even say anything because you have not studied his seerah. You have not followed his methodology. You have not inculcated the moral ethics, the principles, the precepts of the Sharia in your life, at least to the basic ability to do the things that you can. And so again, it's the home of the so that person smells and probably smell of hellfire, burning ash and cinder. But even on top of that, his grave is constricted so that the rib of one side is washed into the rib of the other. And this might be so good in order to agree upon the key. My dear brothers, reflect upon what time it is and put yourself right with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And make right your affairs. Develop a wasila, a rule, a testament. Because I don't know about most of you brothers, I look around you from Africa, and in Southeast Asia, some from the Arabian Peninsula, some other countries, or myself, I was born here in America. And I have seen too often that when a brother dies, that all his life he has lived as a Muslim, but on the top of his grave is a cross. What do I mean by that? Is that his family is not Muslim. They do not know Islam. And if he is not attached to a community, and he is not involved in the masjid or center or anything, then anything can happen to him. You brothers who are taking your shahada, where is your wasila? Some brothers have even lost their homes because they could not pay the taxes they left behind their children. They could not afford to take care of it. Instead of going to property, going back to someone, why do you not have a trust or a will made up with the masjid that whatever property you have goes to the masjid, or whatever wealth you have goes to the masjid? All your pension, all your retirement, your social security, everything go back to the kuffar. Every to do if you don't have a wife. Or you're not leaving it to your children. And the sad thing, you see brothers leaving their children and divorcing their wives. My brothers, Islam is about community. It is about establishing community and being involved in community, being involved to the point that your family is involved in the activities of the community, that everyone knows what your affairs are. Even for some of you who are going elsewhere. Be mindful that you must have this done for yourself if you do not have family members here to ensure. Ain't no sense in talking about taking the body back to Africa or back to Pakistan. This is where you die, this is where you should be buried. But in the life of this dunya, my dear brothers, make sure that you make preparations, because the Prophet ﷺ told us that we should not go 3 days without a wasilah upon us, a rule, right? We should have a rule on our person that in the event that something happens, this is what I want done to me. How many old people we have now in old folks' homes because their children abandoned them? Because we have adopted the ways of the West. They are burdened upon us. I don't want to take care of them. I don't want to take them to the hospital. I don't want to do this. Because it's about I. We have inculcated the capitalist ways of individualism. The I. No! Who changed your doodle diaper? Who blew your nose? Who wiped your tears from your eyes when you cried? Who carried you when you could not walk? Who gave you solace and comfort? Who spent their wealth on you? And yet you put your parents in an old folks home where they sit there all day and watch TV. This is their life until the time they die. When they succeed their grandchildren and be able to talk and appreciate them, when they should be involved in community, when they should receive love and affinity. And the reason that they die early is because there is no happiness in their life. When you're in the depressed condition, that depressed condition makes you more depressed. May Allah allow these few words that have said to seek into the heart, and to affect our relationship with each other, and to make us prepare for the inevitable. Just like you prepare to go to work, you should prepare to die. Is that you need to sustain your life, you need food. When we go into the house, we say Bismillah. When we come out the house, we say Bismillah, alhamdulillah. We say Bismillah, wa bihi ala salatu rasulullah. So when we die, or when we sleep, we say Bismillah, amudu wa ahya. You say things which you pray for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to keep us mindful that this is the reality. But talking about that should not be something that's fearful. It should be something that you understand that this is the inevitable, what ails you go for. So don't be afraid, because the Prophet says, death is a bridge which unites the friend with a friend. Who is the friend on the other side? The friend on the other side of the bridge is the one who gave you life, who provides you with provisions, who provides you with parents, who provides you with guidance, who provides you with instruction, who provides you with messages to come to you. None other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's the last time I did that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alhamdulillah,